Headstands used to be part of my yoga practice, but with motherhood and then with my cancer journey, all of that stopped. And now, 3 years on, I want to resume it. I feel strong enough in my body. Headstand, Sirsasana, is referred to as the king of the poses. Now, a little caveat. I used to be able to come up with both legs together, and I'm working back towards that. Right now, it's one leg at a time. But I'm practicing on coming back down with 2 legs to rebuild that core strength, that muscle memory, and to re-imprint that into my body. Another thing that I'm working on is that my neck I used to have a military neck, and from a x-ray you can see that the curvature is starting to go the opposite way. Now, a seasoned practitioner who's practiced and versed in headstand, I'm bringing the weight of my headstand more closer to my hairline, because that will help improve the natural curvature in my neck. I know fellow yogis who have corrected their reverse curve. Often the reverse curve comes from whiplash. I don't recall having whiplash, but it doesn't have to just be whiplash that causes it. So, this is my practice right now. All right, here we go. So my practice is a minute or 2 a day. I've already done my headstand earlier today, so I won't stay here for the whole minute per se or 2, but I'm concentrating on drawing my shoulder blades down the back of my body, finding that midline and rising up. And Durga's come to say hi. Hi, love. Now to come down, you can jackknife. And then you always finish with, I'll give you a side view of stacking the fists and resting the forehead so as to release the neck, release the shoulders. Take a breath here. Let the body recalibrate. Before coming back up. So, headstand. When I studied in Europe, my teacher, I was sharing with my daughter this morning, in the mornings when I did retreats with my teacher in Europe, we would do our asana in the morning, rising early. I think we might have done meditation and had some breakfast and then come back and delved into our asana practice. And then after around 3 o'clock, from 3 to 4 p.m., we would do shoulder stand and then headstand. And actually, which one? I forget now. I'll write it in the notes below. Maybe it's headstand first, shoulder stand second. I'll write it in the notes below to make sure it's correct. The king and queen of the postures. And they're about 25 minutes each, along with variations, which are beautiful. It's many of the postures that we already do standing, but it's inverted, so it's on our heads. So again, we work differently with gravity. We learn to contain. If we don't have our Tadasana, if we don't know how to root to rise, we don't invert into headstand yet. We really need to be able to be aware of how to be fully rooted and grounded and ascend and rise. Because when you turn your world upside down, you still need to be able to drop into those anchor points and ascend up through the legs as you root down through the crown. It's a beautiful practice. I love my headstand practice and I've missed it. So this was my commitment to myself to say, no, my love, you're going to make it happen. You're going to take time every single day to do a minute or two of your headstand and build that practice. And if there is a day that I don't do it, I hold it lightly and say, okay, tomorrow's another day. All right, much love. You know, it's good for us to turn our worlds upside down sometimes and to do it on our terms. You've heard me speak of that before in the past, that when we do things intentionally and turn our world upside down intentionally, peek under the covers and see, or under the rug and see what's lurking under there to do some house cleaning. When we do it on our terms, it's less jarring to the system and beneficial all round. Yes, every now and then life happens and, you know, we get these whammies and it's like, whoa, I didn't invite this in. But we need to trust that that's exactly the medicine that we needed. But every now and then we can do it on our terms. And we can make those choices to disrupt our norm in order to create greater enrichment. And when it's on our terms, there can be greater ease and less resistance. Even though there's always some resistance when we mix things up and turn things on their head. All right, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you would love a workshop on this. It would be my pleasure to teach some inversions to you all. All right, so much love. Take care.